Hi, my name is Joushlyn Jones. I am a senior. I am a political science major and I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I'm a first generation college student as well as a posse scholar for Agnes College at the first posse. I studied abroad in the fall of my junior year, so that was the first semester of my junior year, and I chose to study in Bulgaria because a funny story actually, I had never been out of the country before I chose to study abroad. I didn't really care where I went out of the country because going out of the country was an experience in itself for me. So I was looking through the appetized countries that we got the chance to go to, and I said A, B, and Bulgaria was the second country on the list. So I said, hey, why not? I'll go there. I'll go anywhere because, if you haven't been outside of the U.S., anywhere is amazing. Study abroad was pretty much something that I had heard of people doing, but I wasn't sure at all how I was going to be able to do that myself when the time came for me. So I feel like that was important for me throughout my college career because no one in my family or anyone that I knew anything about studying abroad. So I kind of to myself just thought, why not? Let's do it so that someone else can know in the future how to do it. And I thought it would be a great experience to see how I would do an environment learning somewhere else. So I figured that it would be a good experience for me. Being a political science major at Agnes College and going abroad to basically take those courses required for my major was an incredible experience for me, and it was very meaningful. We have different types of government systems in the U.S. and then there's different types of systems in Europe. So I got to see firsthand and experience firsthand with no filter what it felt like to be able to learn about half of the globe, pretty much half of the world, and that I knew nothing about. Before leaving Agnes to go study abroad. So I feel like that experience really helped me realize that America is only just part of this big universe that we're in, and everything doesn't operate the same way as we're used to. Honestly, because studying abroad was such an amazing experience for me, I would like to say that the hardest part was arriving to Bulgaria because I've experienced culture shock. And I knew about it because I took some of the classes provided in the Center for Global Learning. And so I knew about culture shock and things to prepare for before I got to my destination. However, experiencing it firsthand for the first time was a lot different for me. So for the first couple of days, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep well. It was high. It was different. My family was sleeping while it was the afternoon in Bulgaria. So it was really a lonely experience at first, and I had to really understand how to adjust to that situation because I knew no one there. Once I experienced my culture shock for the first time, basically I adjusted to the environment and the new space and being away from my family by having a friend that was actually friends with someone here at Agnes introduced me to the marketplaces near, bring me food, clothes, anything that I needed. I had a friend there, and that was because of my connections here at Agnes. So I felt that support system all the way, millions of miles away to Agnes to my school in Bulgaria. So that was how I was able to adjust because of those connections. The most exciting parts for me studying abroad would have to be two things. One, I got the chance to travel to Jerusalem, which was Israel, on our fall break. That was amazing. I got to know so many new people, and it was just amazing to experience different cultures while abroad and trust myself to do that. And my second most exciting memory was meeting two of my best friends ever. They're both from Russia. So we're still friends to this day. They were just such a great comfort system for me being so far away. They helped me tour the state capital. They showed me different things about Bulgaria because they had been there for about 4 years, and they really also helped me adapt to the new atmosphere, which made it easier for me to take my classes and thrive at American University. After a while of being in Bulgaria, attending American University, I did not want to come back to school because, and that's just my honest opinion, I did not want to come back. I had talked to my mom about staying another semester because I loved it so much, and I had just met even more people that were like, you have to stay, you have to be here for another semester. We barely got a chance to show you everything, and so I had to fight my mom about that a little bit, about me staying. After a while, you get used to everything, and it's like a second life that you didn't realize that you could live. So it was an amazing experience for me, and coming back, I feel like to America was the harder part for me than anything, because most of the habits I picked up there, from eating and exercising, going places so easily, that atmosphere was like embedded in me. The value of my study abroad experience was one that surprised me at the end of my journey, because upon coming to Agnes, you feel like you're going to have everything together, or you may feel like you're not going to have everything together. Either way, when you go and study abroad, I found out that I was able to believe in myself 10 times more than I was able to here in my bubble in Agnes. We call it a bubble here, with me having all of my comfort zones, being my family, my support system not too far away from me. You really learn how to take initiative on your own and be your own person and find a piece of who you are. So I feel like that was one of the biggest values of studying abroad. The conversation with my mother, being a first-generation college student, about studying abroad was very informative. She was not sure because she had never had those experiences before. So my mom was a lot worried. She was not sure how I was going to make it there. She was worried about my financial expenses, and she was worried about how she could support me, not knowing a lot of information about what I was about to do, and if I would be safe, if I was going to come home. She was worried about those things. Well, after my mother and I initially talked about me potentially traveling abroad, I helped ease her worries a little bit more by ensuring her that I had the support, which is a lot of support, from the Center of Global Learning, and that constant support every step of the way helped ease my mother's worries about me being safe, which program I was going in. I was able to select the program ISEP to travel with, to make sure that my mother stayed informed, as well as had the opportunity to do research about where I was going and for how long I was going, and to make sure that my school, Agnes, was doing everything in their power to make sure that I remained safe and benefited from the experience as a whole. I was determined to study abroad in my junior year, so I sought a lot of help again from the Center of Global Learning, and there I was told about so many scholarships that could help me study abroad. So in total, for my study abroad trip to Bulgaria, I was actually able to earn $5,000 from the Gilman Scholarship, $3,000 from the Agnes Scott Advantage Award Scholarship, and $2,000 from working over the summer to prepare for my trip. So in total, I had about $10,000 to spend, and that was pretty good for me. Studying abroad costs nowhere near $10,000. However, since I am a fierce Scottie, like your daughters are, I am sure that they will be able to have the passion to take the initiative to go ahead and pursue those funds, to make sure that they can study abroad for free, and maybe with a little cushion if they need. I didn't feel alone when it came to planning my initial study abroad experience, because as I said before, I had the help of the Center for Global Learning. So I had a constant support system at Agnes Scott, and I realized that I didn't need to do it on my own. And so I feel like as long as the students that are interested in studying abroad take the initiative to keep consistently going into those offices and to make sure that they get the resources that they need, then they would be totally fine. You won't feel alone in this process. You will have a step-by-step guide. The advice that I would give to family members trying to support their daughters study abroad would be to not be intimidated by the actual task that your daughter is trying to accomplish at this time, because this task will help them better get to know themselves, travel, do things that will pretty much blow your mind and help them grow. in different ways. My mother is a single mother, and she was the only one that can help me with this task. So if you're a single parent or you don't have a great support system from your family, I would say not to be intimidated by doing this alone, because you're not alone in this. Agnes Scott has so many resources to support you and your daughter in this journey. But studying abroad changed my life, and I truly believe that if you allow it, it will also change your daughter's lives. The advice I have for future Scotties trying to study abroad would be that when you come to Agnes, pretty much right now, you're like a baby that's trying to stand up. So you have your parents here helping you to stand up, and they're holding you by your hands, and they're trying to help you prepare to walk on this campus and then into the real world. Well, unfortunately, as your parents already know, they can't always help you. They can't always hold you by your hands for you to stand up. Studying abroad was the opportunity for me, as it would be for you, to stand up on your own 2 feet, only just so your parents know Agnes Scott will now be using their resources to hold you by your hands a little bit more, and that will allow your parents to trust that you're in safe hands while still allowing you to grow, and for them to trust you to be the adult that they raised. Congratulations again on your child becoming a Scottie. We're so excited for her journey here at Agnes Scott.